Hey everybody, Logan here, and yes, I am back. You guys were probably wondering, oh no, did something happen? Did someone... No one hurt me. Nothing happened, nothing terrible. Life happens. But just to clarify everything, thank you. One, I'm going to say thank you to all of my subscribers for continuing to watch my content, especially my old content. All my new subscribers, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Greatly appreciate it. We do now have something new. There's a super thanks button under all of our videos where now you can tip. You can give just the tip. Wait. If you guys feel ever so gracious to help out the channel that way. But thank you guys so much for sticking around. Life has been all kinds of ups and downs lately for me. Big project, big things in the works, a new contract that I signed that has had me super busy, and unfortunately I just wasn't able to put the time into the channel to give you guys what you deserve, some great content, and get this done. So, you know, life happens, some things have to give. So I'm back now. Thank you guys so much. I didn't expect to be back as soon. Actually, I thought I was going to be back a little later with everything that just happened. My wife just got over having COVID for the last 2 weeks. I'm completely fine. She's good now. Thank you guys so much. For those of you who have asked, there are a few of you. Thank you. You know who you are. But now that everything is said and done, we are back on track. Yes, my first video back was supposed to be about MegaCon, which is this coming weekend, the 21st, 2020. Well, I'll be heading there. I'll be filming for you guys, and then that video will be up next week. Look forward to that. Got a lot of great stuff. But without any further ado, let's get into what this video was supposed to be about, or is about, or going to be about. How Microsoft has been pushing away their fan base. Yes, and you're like, whoa, wait, are they? Oh no, we'll get into that, because you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, I'm a really big Xbox guy. I always have been. Like PlayStation, love Nintendo, but for the last few generations, it's been Xbox. But now, not so much, and well, how about we just get into it?
Welcome to Red Bandana Gaming, the channel where Logan will show you everything. From gameplay to gear, their crew is here to take you on a journey through every atmosphere. Releases to news, you don't have to choose. Red Bandana Gaming is here for you.
Okay, sorry about that long, rather winded intro, but again, thank you guys so much. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. This video, I even went as far as making myself a little list, because normally I can talk off the hip, I'll make a couple notes, but this time, with so many things that Microsoft has been doing, especially with the Xbox brand, to disenfranchise the fan base, it's a bad thing. And for someone who's been diehard Xbox since just around the time the original Xbox came out, it's pretty sad. I do have, you guys know, I have the original Xbox. I have my 360. I still have plenty of Xbox. I have a number of Xbox Ones and the Series X. If you guys haven't watched it, I did that midnight release of the Halo Edition Series X. So for me to address a topic like this, and I didn't know what to say at first. It's actually taken me like a day or two to figure out exactly what it is that I was going to do or say, because this kind of hits home, and I'm pretty sure it does for you. So let me get into what I've seen over this last month. While I was on hiatus, I was still paying attention to all the stuff that was going on, and it just kind of added up. We're going to start with just simple Microsoft and what they're doing with the Series X. Series X is a great console. It's been seen as very powerful, slightly bit more powerful than the PS5, but not too much. They still are, you know, both heavyweights right now. But one of the big things that started out from the gate, Microsoft was doing what was it? The something delivery. But the discs. If you were to buy Xbox discs, Xbox Series X discs, they say Xbox One and Xbox Series Series X. But on the disc, you only get the Xbox One version. And you just pop it in your Series X, you get digital update to the Series X version. I bet some of you guys, that's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it may not be. But what about 20 years from now? I know that's a big thing to say, but what about 20 years from now? Say the Xbox servers go down. Microsoft doesn't exist as a game company. Whatever. Just crazy things. That disc that you have is not an Xbox Series X game. You're going to get an Xbox One game on that disc. And if you don't have that update, or say you got rid of your console and then bought it again, and it's not online, just like a lot of original Xbox servers aren't online. Original Xbox Live is gone. So think about Xbox Live for Series X when the Series 360 197, whatever the Xbox is at that time, comes out, and the Series X is, obsolete. Online's gone down. You don't have Xbox Series X games. Yeah, maybe the games won't be as collectible. Maybe they will be. But who knows? For a physical collector, that sucks. That's not a Series X game. That's an Xbox One game. Yes, there are certain games like the MLB The Show 22, Microsoft Flight Simulator. You have to look across the top for specific, tags, or that line that goes across the top that says Xbox Series X. So, when it comes to that, you are kind of pooped if you're getting those games. Unless you're buying a Series X version, you have an Xbox One disc. Where on the PS5, what's on the PS5 disc is the PS5 version. So personally, because that's been a thing, I've been buying the PS5 version. So Microsoft is saying, hey, you know what, we're going to give you... Oh, the Smart Delivery, that's what it's called. Sorry. We're going to give you the Xbox One you got to download. That's actually what happened to me on WWE 2K22. I installed it and said Xbox One version. Why? Because I guess I clicked too fast or something happened and I made a mistake, and I'm like, wait, this is the Xbox One version. I want the Series X version. It's a Series X on my box. So I had to uninstall it, reinstall it, make sure I didn't, and that became a little bit of a hassle because the installs are not tiny. So that's one. Now, the next big thing that people have been talking about, since Microsoft has been announcing all these studio acquisitions, with the biggest being Activision Blizzard, but over these years, Double Fine and Bethesda and all these big studios coming out with all these announcements, and nothing, there's nothing been delivered. They keep saying, like RGT 85 has made a good point saying, every year they say the next year will be the big year for Xbox. The next year will be the big year. So 2022 was supposed to be the big year, and now we've got Starfield and Redfall. Redfall, we don't know anything about it. It was just a cinematic trailer. Who knows what type of... I guess you're killing vampires or zombies. I don't know. That game I really didn't care about, but Starfield had a lot of us going, thank God I own a Series X. Now it's like, does it really matter? Where's Halo? Sorry, we got Halo. Oh, wait, no, we didn't get all of Halo. We got single player, we didn't get Forge, we didn't get co-op. The multiplayer is let's not get into that. Where's Fable? What about Perfect Dark? Oh, look at the mess that's been going through. Forza 9? Forza? Anybody? Wait, 8, 9? 8. That's right, we got Forza 5. Where are all these games that they promised us? Where are they? Next year. It'll be next year. Hey, not saying much. Sony has done the same thing with God of War, but at least with Horizon, that came out. So a lot of their games may be, being pushed back. Final Fantasy 16. But hey, you know what? At least we're getting games. At least we're getting exclusives. And I bet you're thinking, but what about all the stuff on Game Pass? Wait, I'll get to that. So another thing is, which Microsoft buying all these studios leads me into, like I was saying, the delays. Everything has been delayed. You can only use, the same sad excuse for the last 2 years for so long. People are like, oh, because of the pandemic. Yeah, you know what? Nintendo hits it. Nintendo's pushed up their games. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, that got pushed up. Nintendo's hitting it. And now I think you guys are just, trying to find excuses. There's something going on that, they don't want to tell us, and us fans are getting tired. Where's Avowed? What happened to these games? Yes, we get these updates saying, oh, it'll be delayed 2022. Oh, no, 2023. And we're just getting rather tired here as a fan base in general, I should say. Next, I want to say Game Pass is losing its value. People are like, Game Pass is great. Yeah, Game Pass was great, but now it should just be called Indie Game Pass. Because, for those of you who subscribe to it, you realize all these AAA games aren't really coming. We're getting a few here and there. We got Halo Infinite. Yeah, okay. As a huge Halo fan, that's a topic for another video. I think I've covered that enough. What else are we getting? We got Back 4 Blood. Cool. It wasn't all it was cracked up to be. Otherwise, it's a bunch of indie games. There's a few here and there. And now, I even have a list of games that they are removing. So, it seems like they're removing more. The GTA San Andreas one was one of them. Let me see. They're removing NHL 20. I don't know if anybody cares about that, but that's still technically when it came out a AAA game. Farming Simulator 19. Nobody really cares, but still. Knockout City. Knockout City is going free to play, so that's why we're removing that. A big one, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. That's a big one to remove. Spellforce 3, Soul Harvest. Super Hot, Mind Control Delete. That was an interesting game. And Yes, Your Grace. So those games are removing this month. And it seems like they're removing games quicker than they're adding games. And the games that they're not a knock on indie games, but if we're paying this much a year for Game Pass Ultimate, and they promised all these AAA games, cool, we got MLB The Show. Not everybody likes baseball. Not everybody likes sports games. The AAA games just are trickling out. And another thing is, now if you go to try to renew, if you have Game Pass Ultimate and say it's expiring in a couple days. I did this. I was like, you know what? There's no reason for me to have Game Pass Ultimate right now. I'm really not playing anything on there. I did download Uden Chronicles Rising, but really there wasn't much on me for me to play. I already have Halo. I have Flight Sim. I have a lot of the games. Forza. I have a lot of them that are on there physically. So I just bought a 3-month Xbox Live Gold membership because they still sell those. If you buy the cards, I went to Walmart, put in the code, and it said, oh, we're going to give you 1 month of Game Pass Ultimate. What? And there was no way to say, no, I don't want it. You can't. So I was like, all right, they just screwed me over. So I put it in, and they gave me 2 months of Ultimate. But I was like, this isn't what I wanted. So you're kind of locked in. And it's really frustrating, so you have to let your membership lapse and so on and then go from there, and that's just not fun. So that was another thing. Next, we all saw this with the Xbox Live outage. What was it, a few days, maybe a week ago? How DRM is real. Remember the Always Online? Yeah, people could not play downloaded games without the DRM check. So they weren't able to play their games. So what did people do? Xbox Live was down. They boot up their PS5. They boot up their PS4. They boot up their Switch. Personally, I was playing Switch. I decided to go back and finally beat Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Pretty good game. I decided to beat that, and I was like, all right, fine. You know what? I'm getting rather tired of Microsoft's lies. And, we didn't even know they were lying to us until something like this happened. Then it, pushed out their dirty little secrets. Sorry to go on about this video. Oh, we're already past we're almost about 15 minutes now. But that's because of all these things that are happening, all these things that have been adding up and piling up. And then if you want to go something that doesn't have to do about video games because they've kind of ignored video games, is their social media. And personally, I unfollowed Microsoft, or I should say Xbox, on all their social medias because they no longer post about video games. They do their politics or their activism, and I was like, I don't want that. Most gamers don't want to see that. They want to see video games. So I checked. I looked over at Nintendo's all video games, PlayStation's pretty much all video games, or they promote those tournaments and stuff that they have. And I was like, okay. And then Xbox is none of that. So I'm like, I'm sorry. You know, that's I don't care for any of that. I want to see video games. And then it's funny because I was even looking at the comments on a number of their social media, whether it be, I think it was Instagram and Twitter, and a lot of people are just complaining, saying, stop posting this stuff. What about Halo? What about Season 2? What about Forge? What about Fable? What about Perfect Dark? What about, what Starfield? What about games? And Microsoft is like, oh yeah, Xbox has games. It does games and stuff, right? No, let's politics, and people don't want that. Gamers, we play video games to escape this, and then Xbox is kind of pushing this in your face, and you don't want this. Well, I don't want this. I just want to play video games. There's enough of that nonsense going on in the world. People are kind of tired, and video games are escape. So these are just so many things that are causing fans, and I'm not the only one. I have talked to people about this, just randomly, game stores and stuff like that, just because I wanted to see if it was just me. And apparently it's not. And now that all these videos are coming out about the DRM and the delays, and people are talking about it, all the big channels, Spawn Wave and, like I said, RGT85 there, and they were talking about it on Spawncast and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, it's just rather frustrating. And as someone who really enjoys the Xbox brand, I've kind of put my Series X aside and been really focusing on my Switch. I've played a few PlayStation games here and there. I actually went back to Godfall when they did the update, but then they put it out for Xbox. I was actually hoping they would put that on Game Pass, and they didn't, because I wanted to see if there were any visual or performance updates. And yeah, I was like, okay, I'm not playing it. I already own the game. And the game's all right. It's no 10 out of 10, but it's an okay game. It's fun to waste some time. So with that being said, as someone who's really enjoyed the Xbox brand, we've got, where are all the titles? We did get a little rumor of a Gears of War collection, kind of like the Master Chief collection, where supposedly we're getting a Gears of War collection. We'll see. I've gone on long enough. I really want to hear you guys' opinion, especially my fellow Xbox fans. Has any of this been weighing on your shoulders? Has any of this been bothering you? As someone who's invested a lot of money into the brand, and as someone who used to work for the company as well, as I'm. It's hard to say when I was an ambassador for the company, when the things I did with them, it was all a lot of promises, and it took so long for them to deliver. And it looks like they're not just keeping that going; they're kind of ignoring the promises that they've been making and just pretending they're not making them. So it's kind of sad. But thank you guys so much. I really want to hear your opinion on this. Like I said, especially fellow Xbox fans. Let me know that you guys who aren't big fans of Microsoft or big fans of Xbox, if you're a fan of PlayStation, have you noticed these things? Because I haven't really noticed that much on PlayStation, especially not Nintendo. They've all been having their issues lately in the limelight. But as someone who is really big into Xbox, this kind of hurt. And these things have been kind of piling up, and it's just something that I had to get off my chest. But don't worry, we've got other content coming, more discussions, more tantalizing unboxings. Hopefully I can find, there's something I'm looking forward to that I'm trying to find that maybe I might be able to get to unbox for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, thank you for hanging in there through this little month hiatus. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you all again. Really appreciate. You can hit that super thanks on any of the videos. That would really help us out. Head on over to redbandanagaming.com. Follow us on our socials. Make sure you check out our spring shop. Link in the description below where you can get all kinds of great Red Bandana Gaming merch. Again, if you want to support the channel, those are a couple things that you can really do to help us out. Again, I will say it. Thank you. Thank you. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.